Over the last year, many people asked me to review this dashcam system made by Viofo company, and I had a lot of comments about Viofo, mostly positive, and there is a lot of publicity for Viofo products all over the internet. But still, I could not find any real review where the product is actually put to the test. So I contacted Viofo directly and asked them to send me their flagship model A139 Pro 3-channel dashcam system, so I could test it in this video. This dashcam system is a little more expensive than all other systems I reviewed, and it has many advantages over the competition. Still, I also want to talk about disadvantages. I want to show you all the pros and cons, so you can see them for yourself. And at the end of this video, I'll give you my bottom line verdict. Coming up. Here is the main unit, and the first thing you notice, it doesn't have any touchscreen. Heck, it doesn't have any screen. In fact, it looks like blast from the past. Lots of plastic with large rubber buttons. So the first impression, meh, I'm not impressed. But if you look under the hood of this bad boy, inside, it's a powerhouse. First of all, this Viofo model features a top-of-the-line Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 image sensor that I've never seen in any other system. Some other dashcam also use Sony sensors, but none of them IMX678. In fact, this is the first dashcam ever made to use such powerful image sensor. And that's the first thing I wanted to test. Because the problem with many low quality cameras, especially when you shoot videos while driving, is they get overexposed very fast during day and night. So for example, when you drive in places with lots of shades coming from windows, from the building, from the trees, when the light suddenly changes, your footage gets overexposed to the light. And it takes a few seconds to bring the exposure back under control. So the footage out of those cameras is very poor and hard to watch. So the way I'll test the super duper sensor is I'll drive on a very sunny day on the street with lots of trees, where the sunlight in between the trees constantly floods the camera. And we'll check the footage quality and how this camera handles this hostile environment. And as you can see, I'm driving on the street with lots of trees, where the sunlight hits the front camera constantly. And I must say that this video footage quality is outstanding. If the Academy of Motion Pictures gave the Oscars for the best dashcam video, that would be it. So now you're probably thinking, wow, this is the best dashcam system out there, right? Not so fast. Because this camera has such a powerful image sensor, I actually found a noticeable side effect. This Sony Starvis 2 image sensor constantly tries to focus on the object. It will try to focus as sharply as possible, which is good. But then while your car is moving, it will try to focus on a different subject as sharply as possible. And then another object and another object, and so on. So when you drive forward, it's doing an excellent job. But when you make a quick turn, the camera is trying to focus on many different subjects very fast. As a result, the footage gets all these jerking movements, like boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. It's not smooth anymore. However, I was thinking about it and I actually realized that it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. If you want to use this dashcam for the safety and security, not for video shooting or video vlogs like some people do. Because once you freeze the frame, most other dashcam systems will be very blurry. So it will be hard to read what's happening. And most of the stuff is unreadable. But if you stop the frame on a Viofo dashcam, you'll be able to see and read everything clearly. And that's precisely what you need if something happens while you drive. So if you want this system for safety and security, this video footage will be crispy clean and one of the best. Another significant feature of this Viofo system is HDR. Here's the thing. Many dashcam systems are not very good at night, especially reading the street signs and license plates. So let me show you the quality of the footage without HDR. I'll use the Viofo app on my cell phone and enter settings. Here I'll switch the HDR to the off position. And now let's test it at night. And as you can see, it's almost impossible to read the license plate number of the car in front of me. There is too much of a contrast between the light and dark area of the image. And that's one of the biggest problems of the most car dashcams. Now let's go back to settings, switch HDR on and see whether it changes anything. And bam! What a difference! You can clearly see and read the license plate numbers of any vehicle at night. So I have to say, this HDR thing rocks. This is a 3-channel dashcam system, meaning it comes with 3 different cameras. The front camera is built inside the unit. A separate camera for the interior, which you can adjust 360 degrees.
Hi.
And another fully rotatable camera for the rear of the vehicle. Why would you need the interior camera inside the vehicle? For example, this dashcam system is equipped with parking mode security, which can record what's happening around your car, if triggered while the vehicle is parked. So the interior camera can shoot if someone gets inside the car. Also, it can be beneficial if you work on Uber or if you carry passengers. But interestingly, if you look at the interior camera, it looks different than the rear camera because it comes with these tiny infrared lights. You can turn them on by pressing the power button or set them to switch automatically when needed, which I recommend.
Infrared lights disabled.
Sometimes when it's really dark, it's hard to see the recordings. So the infrared light can save your footage. Let me show you how I tested it in complete darkness. So now I turn all the lights off.
Recording. 3 channels started.
And I'm sitting in the garage in almost total darkness.
Auto infrared lights enabled. Infrared lights enabled.
But you can still see what's going on using these IR lights. Very cool. This night vision is practically military grade.
Infrared lights disabled.
Another mind-boggling feature of this system is it comes with anti-glare CL filter. Just like regular sunglasses. As I said, it looks like a blast from the past. So let's test it in the car.
Filter. No filter.
I don't see that big of a difference. It does reduce glaring just a little. But what I like, this filter actually protects the lens of the camera. This way the camera never gets dirty. And you don't have to remove the whole unit for cleaning all the time. Just this handy little filter. And before we continue, I would really appreciate if you click the like button below this video, because it's the only way I can promote this channel. The installation of this Vaiofa 3-channel system is easy, but it involves a few extra steps. I recommend placing the interior camera on the left side of the rear view mirror and the main unit with the front camera on the right side. Make sure to find a good place so it doesn't create any obstructions. The base of the dashcam has a built-in GPS sensor, so you don't have to install it separately, which is smart. So let's attach it. The Vaiofa package comes with this electrostatic sticker, which you need to place between the camera and the windshield, so you can easily remove it in the future. There are 2 steps to peel the mask off the sticker before and after the application. So let's do the first step by removing the front mask and then sticking it to the windshield. Remove all the air. There is a slot for a memory card on the side. Insert the SD card. Then connect the shoulder cable for the interior camera. The straight connector connects to the main unit, while the connector with the angle goes to the camera. The longer cable has to be guided to the back of your vehicle, with an angle connector for the rear camera and a straight connector to the main unit. So let's connect it. And the last cable is a USB power cable. But if your car doesn't have a USB, you can use a cigarette lighter adapter or permanently hardwire it to your vehicle. Let's connect the power cable. Remove the protective film from a double tape, the front camera, and peel the second mask off the electrostatic sticker. Position the unit straight and apply firm pressure against the windshield. Then use this included prying tool to hide all the wires inside the headliner. Make sure everything looks clean without any hanging wires. The interior camera has all these infrared lights and a rotatable 360-degree base. Connect the cable, remove the protective sticker, and find a good place to attach it. Hide all the wires so everything looks clean and professional. I recommend running the cable for the rear camera inside the headliner all the way to the rear of the car. Remove the plastic from the rear camera and attach the cable. Press it against the glass and you can position it later because it's rotatable. If you have an SUV, pull the wire through this plastic sleeve so that it will come out inside the headliner. This way, your cable will be hidden inside the headliner from the rear of your car to the front. And the last thing is to plug it to the cigarette lighter adapter. But before using it, you need to connect it to the Vayofa mobile app.
Recording. 3 channels started. Wi-Fi enabled.
Get your smartphone, go to your app store and search for the Vayofa. After you install it, make sure to allow access to your phone and open VPN. Then search for Vayofa Wi-Fi. The password is 123456788, but you can change it in the future.
Wi-Fi connected.
Allow the connection and switch to 5 GHz for a faster connection. Now you can see all 3 cameras on the screen so that you can adjust it for the best recording position. Instead of displaying all 3 screens simultaneously, you can display only one screen at a time for better visibility while positioning your cameras. You can also adjust the rear camera while monitoring on your cell phone. There are many settings to customize, but I will mention a few. You can adjust the exposure of the cameras to improve the quality of the video footage. For example, if your car has tinted windows, or to improve the overall picture. You can change the miles to kilometers, but I suggest formatting the SD card before you start using it, especially for the first time, so that you won't have any problems down the road. And you can always go to your files to see the recordings or download them to your phone. This Waiofo dashcam system has a lot more to offer, and I plan to make some more videos in the future, but I want to give you my final thoughts on this product. This Waiofo 3-channel A139 Pro 4K model is one of the best on the market. As far as quality, for someone who wants to use this system for safety and security. Now, because it's a little more expensive, it's for someone who's looking for the top of the line model with lots of features. And if you're looking for something less expensive, but still very good quality, watch my car dashcam playlist. The link is below in the video description area. This 3-channel Waiofo is an excellent dashcam to get for yourself, or it can be a great and unique present for your friends or relatives. It is currently on sale, plus you can use my discount code to save some extra money. The links are below in the description area. And if you buy one via my link, I may get a tiny commission to support this channel. And the question of today is, are 3 cameras too many for a dashcam? Please let us know your opinion in the comment section below.